know what I got. Yeah. We all got potential. Yeah. We may not all have money, but we all got potential. Potential to be anything that we can dream. Yeah. So get ready. Here we go. Whoever dreamed that I could be a great example of what man can achieve. If he believes and pursues that dream in time, potentially, in time, potentially. Whoever knew that I could go to any place my heart says so. I'm gonna make it deep inside, I know, in time, potentially, in time, potentially. Nothing is impossible if you believe. Conceive, achieve, and live by the dream. Live by the dream. Walk the talk and talk the walk and mean what you say. Throw the old life away. Throw it away. 'Cause I've got potential to be what I dream. I can see, yeah. I believe I can be, yeah. In time, potentially. In time, potentially. Whoever knew that I could go to any place my heart says so. Gonna make it deep inside, I know. In time, potentially. In time, potentially. Nothing is impossible to them that believe. Receive, conceive, achieve, and live by the dream. Walk the talk and talk the walk and mean what you say. Throw the old life up, yeah. I've got potential to be what I dream. I can see it. I believe I can be in time, potentially. Time, potentially. In time, potentially. Oh, in time, potentially. You gotta be patient. In time, potentially. Hey, good people, blessings and greetings in the mighty name of the Lord Jesus Christ. This is Bishop Wayne Malcolm, the business bishop, coming to you with another half hour of pure power, because today is dedicated to my best and blessed business coaching tips for kingdom entrepreneurs. And I want to celebrate each and every one of you that's coming in, that's joining us live. I want to celebrate each and every one of you that catches the replay, because it stays on YouTube, and you are most welcome. Listen, if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please go ahead and subscribe. And of course, click the bell for notifications, because that will let you know when we are going live, when we are posting, and that would really help us out. So please do subscribe. And of course, like the post. If you like the post, if you like the content, please do like the post and do share it with your family, friends, networks, and neighbors, because we're having a good time every time that we dive into this. All right, and check my sound effects. Yep, got some sound effects, got a really exciting subject tonight, so let's dive in. Oh, finally, please do utilize the chat box. Use the chat box as your virtual voice, and if we say anything that resonates with you, or that constitutes a light bulb moment for you, an epiphany, a eureka, an aha moment, please do comment in the chat box, And of course, I love emojis. Now, you can use fire emojis, hand clapping, hearts, hands raised, or you can just say what it is that absolutely resonates with you. So, today I'm going to talk about the science of making money. The science of making money. And if you're not interested in making money, then of course, I guess you tuned in at the wrong time, at the wrong place. But if you are interested in making money, I'm going to break it down to a science. And we're going to do it as follows. I'm first of all going to give context to the concept, and then we're going to look at what money actually is so we can properly answer the question, do we want more money? And then we'll look at the starting point for making more money. I want to talk about why God won't give you money. And then I'm going to conclude by talking about your bank of beliefs. So here's a quote, right? And it's designed to give context to the concept that I'm about to share. Here it is. There's more money in your mind than in your bank account or wallet. Woo! You know what? That was yeah. There's more money in your mind than in your bank account or wallet. Okay? I'm gonna simplify that. There's more money in your mind than there is in your hand. It's time to get money off your mind and instead get money from your mind. Woohoo! Yeah, and of course, when people got money on their mind, it's usually because of the lack of money, because of financial pressure, because there seems to be much more month left over at the end of the money. And so they begin obsessing about money and they start thinking, how can I get more money? I need more money. You got money on your mind. Well, I want to challenge you today to get money off your mind, right? There are a lot more important things that should occupy your consciousness and your space. I want to challenge you to get money off your mind and instead get the money from your mind. Get it from your mind because there is much more money in your mind than there is in your hand. So what is money? What actually is money? Okay, it's such a deep question. It's so profound. It's philosophical. It's almost esoterical. What exactly is money? Is it cash? Is it pieces of paper? Is it coins? Is it cards? Is it digits on a screen? What exactly is money? Okay, so I'm going to try to break it down as follows. First of all, I've said here, it's a reflection in the mirror. It's a reflection in the mirror. Now, of course, when you see a reflection in the mirror, if you don't like what you see, you don't reach into the mirror to try to change it. What you do is you make adjustments to the object that's being reflected, right? As being reflected by the mirror. Because what's in the mirror isn't really real. It's simply descriptive of what's standing in front of the mirror. So when I talk about money being a reflection in the mirror, I guess some of you can hear where I'm going, that actually if you don't like what you see, then you don't reach into the mirror to try to change it because there's nothing really in the mirror, okay? What you do is you make adjustments to the object that is being described and reflected by the mirror. And so you can kind of hear where I'm going. If you don't like how much money you have, okay, if you don't like your cash flow, then you don't change it at that level. You actually change the thing that your money is reflecting to you. Okay, so here goes. Money is a metric used to measure the value of goods and services. Wow. It's a way of measuring the value of goods and services. It's a measurement. It's a measuring tool. It's a measuring instrument, and it's the way that we measure the value of goods and services. As such, it reflects Okay, the actual worth of things bought and sold, right? It's a reflection. Okay, it's reflecting because it's a way of measuring, it's a measurement, it's a metric. And this measurement is based on a social contract. Now, when I say a social contract, I mean something that we have universally agreed, okay? And of course, not only have we universally agreed this, but it is enshrined in law, right? That's why cash is referred to as legal tender, right? Because we are now legally obliged to accept these digits, these digits on screens, these pieces of paper, pretty pieces of paper, these relatively inexpensive to produce coins, right? We are forced by law to accept these as as a real metric measurement of the value of goods and services, and we are compelled to actually exchange goods and services through this particular medium. Okay, so if the thing, right, if the thing that is bought or sold is, if its value is measured in terms of money, then it can be bought and sold through that agreed medium. What am I saying in a nutshell? In a nutshell, I'm saying that in the beginning and in the end, we only ever exchange value for value. Okay? So before there was money, right, we simply exchanged goods for goods, or goods for services, or services for services, or services for goods, but we took something of value and gave it in exchange for something else of value. That was the old bartering system, right? And of course, there was this social contract in early civilization that said, look, this cow is worth my day of service or my month of service. And so everything was always based on value. In the end, we only ever exchange value for value. But where money comes in is that money is a way of measuring the value or worth of the thing, right? The goods or the services, the things you do for others. It's a way of measuring that. And it's a medium for exchanging that. So that if I give you money for the cow, okay, you can use that money to purchase something of equivalent value. It's an amazing system, and it's a system that has endured the test of time. And it's the system that we find ourselves in. But I wanted you to note that money itself doesn't have any intrinsic value because it represents goods and services that do have intrinsic value. It's a representation of value, because in the beginning and in the end, all we will ever do is exchange value for value. And why is this important? It's important because it means that to have more money, you must create more value. Okay? To have more money, you must create more value. Like I said in the beginning, if you don't like what you see in the mirror, you cannot reach into the mirror to make adjustments to it. All you can do is make adjustments to the thing that's being reflected, to the object that is being reflected and described by the mirror. Given that money is a reflection of value, if you want more money, you can't reach into the mirror and try to get more money. You have to make adjustments to the value that's being reflected by the amount of money that you have. Simply put, if you want to have more money, you must create more value. Oh, I wish I had some help in here. If you want to have more money, you must create more value, because money only reflects, represents, measures the value that you have, that you add, that you are. So the big question is, instead of having money on your mind, you need to have value on your mind. Woo! Somebody help me scream. Instead of obsessing about money, you need to obsess about value. You need to be thinking, how can I create more value? How can I create more value? Because I want more money, and given that money is only reflecting, representing, and measuring value, then I need to create more value. And when you've got value on your mind, I promise you the money is about to appear. Once you've got value on your mind, then you're getting to the true source of how money is actually made. So here's the question: what is value? What is value? Okay, so here I've got some bullet points. Anything that solves a problem for others is of value to them. Woo! Right, so if you solve a problem for me, that's of value to me, okay? And so problem solving is at the heart of this value conversation. Because if you solve a problem for me, you are of value to me. And if I can solve a problem for you, then I'm of value to you. Everything God made was designed to solve a problem. Wow and wow. So when we look at creation, right? We look at creation, we look at the universe, or just look at our planet, our beautiful planet, okay? What you'll see is that it's not made up of independent parts. It's made up of interdependent parts, so that everything relies on something for its existence. Okay, so a seed without soil, without sunlight, without rain and water, it's just that. It's useless. It's a seed, okay? But once you put it in the soil and expose that soil to sunlight and give it water, now we're seeing a plant. That plant or that tree is not an independent phenomenon. It is an interdependent phenomenon. In this respect, the ground is solving a problem for the seed. The seed is solving a problem for the tree. The fruit are solving a problem for the eaters. And everything is solving a problem, okay? Everything God made was designed to solve a problem. Everything man invented was designed to solve a problem, right? The computer that I'm using now solves a problem. The microphone solves a problem. The platform that I use to generate my slides solves a problem. Actually, everything that is bought and sold actually solves a problem for someone. Now, there's another term for solving a problem, and it is this: serving a purpose. Okay, so everything that God made serves a purpose in that it solves a problem. Everything that we bring to the marketplace, goods, services, things done for, whatever it is we bring to the marketplace, it serves a purpose, and that's what gives it gives it its value. It serves a purpose in that it solves a problem for someone. So everything of value serves a purpose by solving a problem. Okay, so let's just go back to why we're even talking about this. We're talking about this because if you want to make more money, you have to create more value. So you get the money off your mind, get value on your mind. And if you're going to create more value, then you need to understand what value is. Value is anything that solves a problem for others. Okay? Anything that solves a problem, that serves a purpose by solving a problem. That's what value is. And if you want to make more money, you have to create more value. So the starting point for making money from your mind is to find a problem you can solve. Oh, yeah. Starting point for making money from your mind is to find a problem you can solve. Find a problem you can solve. Why? Because if you can solve a problem for others, you are of value to them. They will put a monetary value on that. You can put a monetary value on the item or the service. Okay, so you want to find a fault that you can fix. You want to find a need you can meet. You want to find a way that works. And, there is pressure in this respect. And the reason why there's pressure in this respect is because the market demands. Consumers demand, businesses demand, organizations demand, the marketplace demands, right? that someone either create, source, or supply solutions. Why? Because problems come with pain. Problems hurt. All right. It's not just that I have a problem and I can live with it, but the problem hurts. So I'm constantly looking for solutions. The marketplace is constantly looking for solutions. Sometimes very consciously, sometimes subconsciously or unconsciously. The marketplace is looking for a new idea, an innovation, a breakthrough, a technique, a technology. It's just looking for it because problems come with pain. And if you can find the pain and feel the pain, and you can fix the fault or meet the need, or you can solve the problem, then your value has gone up in the marketplace. Have you ever wondered about pay scales in a company, right? Why some people at the entry level are paid X amount, and then as you go up, you're paid more, and then when you get to the senior levels, then you're paid handsomely with bonuses and perks and all of these other things. And you sit down, you wonder, how do they calculate this, right? Well, see, every job in the company solves a problem for the company. Now, the size of the problem, okay, and the scale of the problem. So, in other words, how big is this problem, right? In other words, how difficult is it to solve? And the scale of the problem is, how much of the big picture does this actually affect? And then when they look at the size of the problem and the scale of the problem, right, then they can put a monetary value on hiring someone to solve that problem. Okay? So if you're at the bottom of the chain, it's because you're solving a small problem that doesn't have a massive impact on the overall big picture. Whereas as you go up the scale, they're solving bigger problems, more complex problems, okay? Requires more of a skill set, more of a, more intellectual capital, right? To solve these complex problems. And the problems, if they're not solved, they have an impact, a negative impact on the overall operation. And therefore, when you put a monetary value on that, it's, we'll happily pay much more for someone who can solve that problem on that level. And at the very senior levels, people are solving very complex problems that have huge bearings on the very existence of the organization, the company. So that's how the scales are worked out. It's worked out based on the value that you bring. Your paycheck is a reflection of the value of your worth to the company. Unfortunately, it is a reflection of your worth to the company. So if you want to be paid more, you need to be worth more. And in order to be worth more, you have to solve more complex problems that have a bigger bearing on the outcomes for the company. Woo! I just gave you a little key for your next promotion. So here goes. And this is the difference now between consumers and producers, or consumers and creators, okay? And of course, I'm challenging you to become a creator because I believe that you are fundamentally creative by design. You're created by the creator to create things, and creativity is all up in your DNA. You literally possess an insatiable appetite to create things and a limitless capacity to create things, and therein is the image and the likeness of God. But here's the problem, is that consumers run away from problems. Consumers run away from problems. Now, if you look at this crossroads that I've put up on the screen, right, and as you approach that crossroads, which way are you going to go? Well, the consumer is going to go right. It's going to go to where there's solutions. It's going to choose the road of least resistance. It's going to look for comfort. It's going to look for security. It's going to look for assistance. It's going to look for things done for you. And so you're going to go the route of solutions. But the creators are going to go for the problems. They're going to run towards the problems. Because what creators know is that if we can solve a problem, right, it's going to increase our value in the marketplace. And that's going to be reflected back to us in the form of money, purchasing power. Okay? So creators run towards problems. Now watch this. Why? Because they know that someone else's problem is the key to your own prosperity. My word, that was so deep. Someone else's problem is the key to your prosperity if you can create, source, or supply a solution. Now, this is really deep, right? This is not, no one's out here wishing problems for anyone or on anyone, but the reality is we are living in a world in which people, communities, cities, nations, organizations, companies, movements, churches, everyone has problems, right? And their problems are the keys to your prosperity if you can create a solution or source a solution, right? So the solution's already created and you're going to source it, and you're either going to buy it and polish it up and retail it, or you're going to become an affiliate for a source that already has the technology, the tools, and all the things that are needed to solve the problem, and you're going to begin to retail those solutions. Or you can supply the solution yourself. You can supply it yourself. Once you can create, source, or supply solutions, then other people's problems are the keys to your prosperity. Bring. And someone said, oh, is that right? Is that good? Is that fair? Yes, it is, because God ordained that your prosperity would be inextricably linked to your problem-solving capacity and commitment. What does that mean? It means God has simply designed it that if you're going to prosper, then you must first obsess about solving problems for others. God has simply designed it that if you're going to be rich, you must first obsess about enriching others. In the economy of the kingdom, if you want to be rich, like if you want to be great, Jesus said, you have to become the servant, right, of all. Your greatness is measured in the depth of your service in the kingdom of God. And in kingdom economy, it simply means if you really want to become rich, then you must focus on enriching others. If you really want to become wealthy, then you must solve problems, complex problems sometimes, okay? Painful problems. You must solve problems for others. And see, when you've got solving other people's problems on your mind, enriching others on your mind, creating value for others on your mind, you're now going to have access to the money that's in your mind, as opposed to these people who've just got money on their mind. They're not thinking about how can I create more value? How can I solve more problems? How can I enrich other people? How can I make things easier, better, faster, smoother, greater for other people? No, they're just self-absorbed, self-obsessed, got money on your mind. Well, this is a challenge to get the money off your mind and instead get the money from your mind. And you'll only ever get the money from your mind if you get creating value on your mind, solving problems on your mind, and enriching others on your mind. See, here's why God doesn't give you money, right? God doesn't give you money, all right? Now he says, in one verse, that to Israel, you must remember the Lord your God, for it's he that gives you the power to get wealth. But you must understand there's a big difference between wealth and money, okay? Remember, money is a symbol, it's a reflection, it's a representation, it's a way of measuring the value of actual things. So what God will give you the power to get is actual things that have actual value. That is what wealth is, okay? So God doesn't give you money, he gives you wealth. Now, the reason God doesn't give you money is because he's already given you the ultimate and limitless money source. Wow. And that ultimate and limitless money source is the human mind. The human mind is the source, okay? It's the ultimate and limitless money source. And God's already given you the power to get money in your mind, because in your mind, what you can find is a way of creating value. You can find a way to solve problems for others. You can find a way to enrich others. You can find a way to be of value to the society around you. And that's why you don't ask God for money. He's going to give you ideas. Okay? You ask, when you ask God for things, right? God gives you thoughts, because he's already given you the ultimate and limitless money source, which is the human mind. And this is why we now have to be, concerned with the true bank. The true bank is your bank of beliefs. Okay? All the money that you could ever envisage is in the bank of your beliefs. And so what we've got to learn is how to unleash our own bank of beliefs. Now, I want to say something about your bank of beliefs. It is as follows: that as with any bank, you make deposits and you make withdrawals. If you try to withdraw more than you have deposited, actually, that leads to an overdraft situation, or straight back, it's going to spit the card out. Okay, and say insufficient funds, because you're trying to withdraw more than you have deposited. So how do you deposit into the bank of your mind, into your bank of beliefs? You make deposits through consuming knowledge and wisdom and understanding, right? Right now, tonight, you are making a deposit into your bank of beliefs. When you read a good book on leadership, management, sales, wealth, economics, history, whatever it is, right? When you read good books, you're making deposits into the bank of your mind. When you watch great training programs, videos, you're making deposits. When you go to seminars, okay, and listen to experts, unpack the secrets behind an industry, you're making deposits. If you hire a coach, you're making deposits. The wise people are making deposits into their own bank of beliefs, because they know that the true money is in the bank of their beliefs. They understand that there's much, 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 much more money in your mind than is in your hands. So they keep on making these deposits. Now, when it comes to withdrawing from your bank of beliefs, the only way to withdraw is to solve problems for others, to enable their aspirations, to resolve their issues, to meet their needs. The only way that you withdraw from the true bank of your beliefs is by creating massive value for other people. Well, go over it again and again, because this is the true science of making money. Now, if you want more on this subject, guess what? I've got great news for you. I'm hosting a very free webinar on Thursday, 25th of April. It's going to start at 11 p.m. UK time, which is 6 p.m. Eastern US time. And I'm going to be delivering what I think is one of the most profound, insightful, and enlightening and elevating webinars that I've ever taught. And it's called Mind Over Money. Mind Over Money. Mind Over Money. And if you like, what we did today was perhaps a sneak preview of what we'll uncover in this webinar, where I want to break down the pure and real science of making money, but I also want to look at the relationship between mind and money. People are always going to tell you, you want more money, change your mindset. But what do they actually mean? What does it actually mean? So I'm going to dive into that in some detail in this particular webinar, and it's ideal, absolutely ideal for anyone that wants to make more money. I want to talk about mind over money, and it's going to be exciting. Now, the link to register for this webinar is in the description. So click on more, scroll down, you will see the link. What you want to do is register for the webinar. Register for the webinar. And don't just register for the webinar. Put it in your diary. Put it in your diary. Set an alarm. Read any emails that come from us, and make sure that you show up. Show up because when you show up, it's much better than catching the replays, because in the show up, I'm going to answer questions. I'm going to say stuff and do stuff that won't be in the replay because it'll be edited out. You want to be live with me for Mind Over Money on Thursday, the 25th of April. And I look forward to seeing you. God bless you. Peace out and shalom.
Whoever knew that I could go